Thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us. Welcome to Abu Dhabi as well. We'd love to hear from you your perspective on maybe what caught your attention as far as top technologies, top solutions that are being discussed in this Congress for this industry's main challenges.
Okay, thank you for having me, and thank you for organizing this very impressive and important event. Indeed, for me, the topics are quite relevant. The focus of the Congress is on the energy and water. In today's world, the challenges, the energy crisis we can have, it's not that created by the energy sector as such, but it's certainly the aspects that are behind the energy sector. These are having the geopolitical dimensions, and so despite those challenges that we have, and then as a utilities, utilities are really dealing on the daily basis with the with the problems, handling those problems, providing the services. So despite of the sectors, you do need a map, a plan, and we have to be quite ambitious in these plans, and it has to be it's not only ambitious, but it has to be long. And therefore, for me, the takeaway of this Congress is that let's plan it, and I think UAE is a good example of it, that they have got the energy plan for 2030, 2050, and they say that for the next 30 years plus, this is what gonna be doing, and this is what we're going. And I think those kind of plans help everybody to get focus and to follow the plan. And I think the games, games rule has to be also quite consistent and should not be much influenced by different stakeholders. So there's a consistencies, everyone can plan. The other takeaway for me is really to by having these plans, and there's I think clear divisions between the policymakers and the service providers, the operators. As regulators, we should be quite cautious and I would say creative to ensure that we not only promote the investment, but we do promote the innovations. The taking risk things, so that the innovations brings more efficiencies. By the end of the day, we as a governments do need to provide the right services in the right time, at the right place, at the right cost.
So desalination, sustainable energy, hydrogen even, these are some of the top technologies that we're hearing about. What can you tell us about areas of possible collaboration, and what will you be taking back with you to Tajikistan?
I think in terms of the decarbonizations, we as Tajikistan are one of the significant contributors to mitigating the global warming. So our contribution is like 0.0003% of the on the world scales, as over 95% of the electricity we produce, it's a renewable, it's a hydro. So we are in the country, in the regions where our neighboring countries are very much depending on the oil and gas when it comes to the energy. Whereas in Tajikistan, we have the resources, had resources of 520 billion kilowatt hours or 127 gigawatt hours, and we only used 5% of it. So any new electricity that we develop, by definition, it's a green, and it can be exported to our neighboring countries who are heavily depending on the oil and gas. So by this, we certainly further reduce the carbon emission, and we certainly appreciate the ambitious plan of UAE in terms of having zero net by 2050. And, in terms of the water resources, and by saying that when we're in Tajikistan, for us it's vital to have our water resources, because we are home to 60% of the water that used for Central Asia, with a population of over 100 million people, including Afghanistan. And so what we see in terms of the global warming, rapid melting of our glaciers. Thousands of glaciers have been melted. So what it takes us to bring it back. Therefore, I think it's certainly. And again, coming back to the topic, energy and water, this come together, and how we can balance it, but also sharing it, sharing it. And I think the capital ratio, when it comes to the government, it can be done quite well through utilities.